Welcome back to A Drop of Happy, where we focus on carefree, stress well, light and lively living while reviewing and discussing all things entertainment and wellness. It is December 1st, December 2nd, December something. And I've been watching a lot of stuff. I haven't been reading as much as I would like, but I've been watching a lot of stuff to do reviews and posts, which I should have been. But the thing is, procrastination. Procrastination. So, what do I have coming up? I finished Alex Cross. Um, I watched a couple of Christmas things because it's the season and I love some Christmas movies. I finally watched Twister. Have to do some news updates, which I'm hoping maybe I can do today because it's been a while. But the point being, I wanted to kind of get us ready for 2025. Get us in the right space, get our minds right. So let's talk about procrastination. Let's talk about tackling procrastination, finding more time, and being less stressed. All right. I don't know if anybody else has a problem with procrastination, but I have a problem with procrastination. And I kid you not, I swear, I feel like the older I get, the worse it gets. Like, I don't know. Mm, I, mm, and it might be this peri thing. It might be this perimenopause thing. I don't know. It might be a lot of things. It might be that my ass is just tired. But I'm like hoping I'm not the only one because, misery, company, all that, right? And procrastination is that little evil little sucker that just creeps up on you. And here's the thing, easily becomes a bad habit. And once it lashes on, it just kind of erodes your ability to function. Like, you should. The thing is, first of all, we have to recognize that it has become a bad habit because sometimes we don't realize that we have a bad habit, right? So we have to recognize that it's become a bad habit. Then we have to figure out how to break it, which breaking a bad habit is not easy to begin with. However, with some honest self assessment and an organized and attainable plan of attack, um, we can do it. Now, I always talk about you got to start with assessing your situation, assessing yourself, assessing what is going on. Personally, I'm my own worst critic about all things, especially when I don't get things done. I am the worst about beating myself up about it. Um, I am making a concentrated effort to allow myself to indulge in rest more. So that just means being kinder to myself, right? With that being said, the first step in engaging in some self assessment is to be gentle with yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back, first of all, because you've recognized that you have a procrastination problem and have decided to deal with it. So, pat, 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 pat. That's me, patting my back. And the thing about it is, it may be so ingrained into your daily life that you haven't fully recognized how deep and pervasive your procrastination habit actually is. I'm a journaling girly, you guys know. So, to start, the first place I would encourage you to start is to journal about it or use an electronic log or something to kind of track your times of procrastination. Now, admittedly, this will take a lot of awareness, a lot of self awareness, and acts of mindfulness. Like, you're going to have to pay a little bit of attention intentionally. The thing is, you're already doing it if you've gotten this far. If you've like, okay, I know I have a problem. So you are kind of paying attention. Now you just have to take it a step further and be real purposeful about tracking it so you can do something about it. How do we get things done? How do we get this done? How do we get things done? It is not rocket science, nor is it anything you haven't heard before, nor you Google it. It is nothing new under the sun, for real, for real. The problem, and I've said this a million times, more times than I can count, is that we lack discipline to do it. And maybe not we, maybe just me. Whatever. Discipline is a bear. So I have a list, and I don't really think it's in any particular order. It's just a list, man. A list of the things that would really help us in this journey. Again, nothing new under the sun, really. Acknowledge where you are at and where you want to go. Again, that's part of the whole self assessment situation. Like, this is where I'm at, but I don't want to be here. What does that look like? What do I got to do? Figure out what your avoiding habit is. Like, what is that thing that you engage in when you trying not to do something? Work on limiting it, or for the sake of better time management, work on having like a interrupting activity, right? And this is where the mindfulness and the paying attention and all that, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, right? What is the list of things you need to get done? Like, where you at, where you need to go, what does that look like? And set some goals, not just any goals, not just any goals. This you can easily Google to learn more about what SMART goals are if you don't know. I'm going to give you the quick version. SMART goals are goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound, right? So I feel like the time bound one is really, really important because you can't just be like, I want to do this. Set a time. The most important here is that we make them munchable. Like, it's not the whole meal, little snacks, little snacky goals. And there's a reason for that. But that's your first thing. It's a lot of thing in this assessment phase, assessment step, whatever, but it's things that you really need to think about. Sit with yourself because it all has to start with some type of plan, some type of recognition, some type of something. And within that, small, SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. Then start attacking your list. Again, taking a large, complicated task, whether it's a large goal, large task, whatever, and breaking it down into smaller parts that you can accomplish easily. Snack size goals, tiny goals, right? Remember that the most difficult or complex tasks are simply just a series of smaller jobs. Like, you got to break it down. It's always like, I don't know, sometimes like when I go into my laundry room and I look at it, I walk right back out because it's a mess. Like, or you go into a space where it's just insurmountable. And then the only way you can do it is be like, well, maybe I'm going to just do this section right here. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. This part, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan. Create accountability. Let me tell you the way I am not a fan of this. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even going to hold you. I don't like accountability. I don't like an accountability partner. I don't like none of it, but it's important. It is. Make a verbal commitment to someone else about improving your time management skills and your desire to avoid procrastination and your desire to work on these goals and whatever else. Um, Me personally, if I really, 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 really want to get something done, I will hold myself accountable to my accountability partner. But I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not even gonna front, because those who have attempted to be my accountability partner that may be listening, if I don't, I will avoid that motherfucker like the plague. I will not call. I will not. I will. So I'm just trying to keep it real. That's a good one. It is. But, you know, I can avoid that too. This one, set deadlines for completion of these tasks. It kind of goes back to your SMART goals. You got to set some deadlines. Allow others to become involved in your efforts by reviewing your progress, helping you set deadlines, or evaluating your results. And this can be very helpful. Absolutely. Because it kind of goes with that accountability situation as well. And then when a deadline is looming, make sure you allot time each day to work on the project so it doesn't sneak up on you in your final hours, right? This is the planning piece, planning it out, creating a time management plan, not just forgetting about it. Like, you have the deadline, you know it's coming up. Well, now what do you got to do? I usually do this with like books that I'm reading. Because sometimes I'll have a goal to finish a book and I'll set a certain time and I'll figure out how many pages is the book and I'll commit myself to read that many pages a day. And what happens is sometimes I don't always read that many pages a day. Then I have to reassess, reevaluate, and be like, okay, how many pages do I have left? And well, now I have to read this many pages a day. Or if I'm doing audiobooks, because they have a nice little like percentage, or you know how many hours the book is and all that good stuff. That too, in order for me to finish. So it's kind of like the same concept. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. The same concept of kind of like reassessing, looking at what you've done, and then being like, oh, I set this deadline for myself. And this isn't in there, but if you're able and you can, because I don't want you to freak out, I don't want me to freak out, I don't want us to be too stressed out, we can also adjust the timeline, adjust the deadline if need be, not like make it way out, but adjust it so that you're not stressed out about it and it makes it that you can still work on a daily activity to get to the goal. But the main point is kind of like as you go along, looking at where you're at, how you're progressing, and making adjustments as needed. Learn to ask for help when you are feeling overwhelmed. Learn to ask for help when you are feeling overwhelmed. And I feel like I have to repeat it because there's some people who don't like asking for help or don't know how to ask for help and all that good stuff. Uh, and you should, because it could be helpful. It could help you move along in there. Um, and I think, in addition to learning to ask for help, more than that is knowing what resources are available to you. That could be human resources, that could be um, items, that could be whatever, tools and things like that. Knowing what resources are available to you and utilizing those resources as well. So that could be asking someone for help, but also just making sure you have the proper tools and that you utilize the proper tools. And again, sitting down and map out a plan to manage your time more effectively. But most importantly, remember to readjust, ask for help if need be, and It is not about creating more pressure points in your life, but more about creating a reasonable framework that you can function and thrive in. So that's kind of why you do all this. That's kind of why you reassess, why you look at the timeline, why you make sure you're like all of it is building this space that you can be really successful in. And reward yourself for good behavior and accomplished goals. Because remember, you're doing bite-sized goals, mini goals, so you can reward yourself. Don't wait until you've accomplished the ultimate goal, the big thing, but reward yourself for your successes along the way. And here's the thing, make sure the reward is something you like to do. So it's actually like a little treat, whatever it is. Treat yourself to the newest book, um, by your favorite author, and take the time to read it. That might not float somebody's boat. That would float mine. Okay. Indulge in bubble baths or relaxing music. Focus on getting these things done. Focusing on getting these things done will require some sacrifice on your part, right? Which means that in the process of attaining your goals, you will be giving up some things, right? Because you only have so much time in the day. So you will be giving up some of the fun things that you like to do. You will be giving up because you're going to have to. So let that be part of your reward. Like engage in something you may have had to momentarily give up. So why I talk about the books and the spa or whatever is because you might not, in effort to achieve this goal, you may not have had the opportunity to engage like you normally would in these other activities because you've had to give them up, you've had to sacrifice, you've had to make choices in an effort to work towards these goals. This is a reality of life because we only have so many hours in the day. So once you've accomplished something and you like, all right, well, I haven't gotten to do this for a while. I haven't been able to take myself out to dinner. I haven't been able to hang out with my girlfriend like I usually do. Well, let that be your reward. Overall, do not engage in unhealthy habits while you're doing this because sometimes like when we're caught up in doing something and we want a relief, we might engage in some unhealthy things, right? Don't forget to be healthy. It's a lot. I know. It's a lot. It's a lot of juggling, but that's what life is about, right? And somehow this is so important. Like I cannot stress enough and I'm not going to sugarcoat this. It is a lot. Um But we have to remember that our physical body needs movement. We need rest as much as we need movement. So, engaging in healthy physical habits, um, which include improving your sleep hygiene and physical activities and all that, I cannot stress how important that is. And that may be part of your goals, that may be part of your whole thing, that it could very well be. Because I don't know what you're trying to work on. But remembering to take care of your physical is super important while you're doing all this. I know it's it's a lot to juggle, but it can be done because we be juggling stuff anyway. We juggle so much. Um, but sometimes we get into this cruise control pattern, and the cruise control pattern could be unhealthy habits. Cruise control pattern could be us avoiding, us never getting things done, and us looking like, oh my gosh, it is December. How did that happen? So commit yourself, commit to yourself, commit yourself. Remind yourself that you are worthy of all the things you want in life. You are worthy of breath. You are worthy to be in a growing space that you are in. You deserve all the good things that your hard work will get you in the future, and you are worthy of the effort you are putting in now or are about to put in. You deserve what is and what is to come. By acknowledging this and making that commitment to yourself, you will place yourself on a path of success and happiness, with your efforts leading to a more relaxed, productive, and less stressed life overall. I know it kind of sounds crazy. It sounds like a lot, but kind of paying attention to those things honestly will really help. Now, that's my spiel. That's my let's try to get it together before the year ends out. Let's try to get our mind right as we move into 2025 because there's a lot going on. uh, Come back for, oh, I got a lot of things that I need to review. So I need to take this advice myself so I can get it together and we can talk about all the fun things that I got going on. If you like it, please share, please come back, please like, please follow. A Drop of Happy is available on all streaming platforms, like all the really popular ones: Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple, YouTube, whatever. So please look up A Drop of Happy. Also come back, lightv.com, LITEVI.com, at lightv on most platforms. I'm actually on Blue Sky now too. Um, no longer posting on X, so there's that. And live light and stress well, and please spread the word.